Okay, so hello everyone. This is Sylvie
Hello.
with Boutique. Hi Karen, hi Debra.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah.
So we're
Hello.
very sorry. We apologize for the few minutes late technical difficulty, but here we are. So welcome everyone. This is our very first live event in our virtual store, boutique.nyc. But before we get started, let me tell you just a little bit about Boutique. It's the first 3D virtual retail marketing platform in the beauty and wellness industry. We launched about a month ago on May 13 in the middle of COVID. And our goal at Boutique is more than just offering fabulous wellness and beauty products. It's a unique discovery and shopping experience and a place to learn. And these live events that we're doing, the first one tonight with Karen and Debra, are designed to help you all along your beauty and wellness journey and decide what your own definition of self-care, beauty, wellness, whatever you call it, is about. So welcome. And my accent, by the way, is French. That's why. So sorry if you don't understand everything I say. I'm doing my best. Welcome, everybody. And let's get started with Karen and Debra. We're going to talk tonight about how to manage stress and anxiety in situations of lockdown in and out. Some of us are still in lockdown, whether we want it or not, and we may suffer for being socially isolated. Others are going out of lockdown, whether they want it or not, and that may also cause some anxiety and some stress. So this is what we're going to talk about during the next hour, and you can use the chat actually to submit your questions to Karen and Debra. But first, let me introduce our guests, Karen and Debbie Carter. Welcome, ladies, again.
Thank you.
Karen holds a master's degree in holistic nutrition. She's a board-certified holistic health coach, a 500-hour yoga teacher, a social advocate, and a financial wellness educator. Debra holds a Bachelor of Natural Health. She's a board-certified holistic health coach too, a Reiki practitioner 1 and 2, and a 200-hour yoga teacher. And together, they founded Phenomenal Women Empowered Connections, which is a social networking group for women, and they are the co-authors of a book bestseller on Amazon called Awesome Women on the Move, Inspirational Daily Journal Affirmations, Scriptures, and Quotes. This is it for the introductions, and welcome, ladies. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Let's get started, and this question is going to be, I guess, for Debra.
Yes.
Tell us about the mind and how we can channel those empowering thoughts, in negative situations and tough times.
Okay, first I want to say thank you, Sylvie and Sonia, for inviting my sister and I on the show. And what I want to speak about is something I'm very passionate about, and I've been doing it for many years since I was a child, is journaling. And studies have shown that journaling is a extremely valuable healing vehicle. It's good in this particular time when everyone is locked down, getting ready to come out of it, or they're still having anxious and stressed feelings. The toxic feelings that we are having are build up in your system. And it's not healthy at all, as we know, to have toxic negative feelings inside of us, because a lot of that nerve rests in your gut. Your gut and your stomach holds a lot. I don't know if people notice that when you become nervous and anxious, your stomach tends to blow up like a tire. That's all your nerves. So in order to get all those feelings out and to not let that rest there, when you start to write, you bring up all those feelings. And on paper, because journaling is very inexpensive, just a pen and a notebook, you bring all those feelings up. Whatever it is that you need to write down, it's a freeing, it's a release. You write down everything that you feel, whether it's negative, whether it's positive. You write all that down, and it starts to become a release. So after a while, as you're starting to write, you will see how much better you will feel. And then you will start eventually to have more gratitude. I'm sorry about my phone, about gratitude noise, but the journaling is very important. It frees you from all that toxicity that you hold in, and it
Okay.
clarifies your thoughts.
Can you
And
maybe mute your phone? And I have a quick question for you in the meantime, actually talking about this journaling. So yeah, let's make sure the all the phones are on silent mode.
yes,
But Deborah, you're talking about journaling, but how often should people journal, and
sure. Well,
how long does it need? Do we need to start seeing results?
sure. Well, journaling, they usually advise to journal every day, a little bit every day. It doesn't have to be a long period. You can journal anywhere from 20 minutes to 5 minutes to 2 minutes, but they recommend to write something every day. It's also good when you're journaling to have a to date the day, like today's date, tomorrow's date, next week's date. So that way, as you are continuing to write, you can eventually along the way see your growth and your progress. And you can journal as long as either for a week. If you happen to skip a few days because you don't have time, you don't feel like it, that's fine. But it's always good to at least try to write something. It can be as long as short as you want to, because the feelings have to come out. Can you see me?
Yeah, I
And the
can.
results, I'm sorry, and the results could happen right away, because sometimes you, as you're right, you can say, "Oh, I got an aha moment." You can get the aha moment that day. You can get it the next day. You might not get it to the end of the week or a month later. But when, as you're writing and getting the toxic feelings out, and it's coming out, is writing. It's also good if you have arthritis, is too, is writing. But as you're writing, like I said, you could have an aha moment and just like, oh, I finally get it. Oh, how do I feel so much better? So it depends basically on the individual.
Awesome. And something you were talking about as well that we like very much was this affirmations
Yes.
writing. So because we might feel a little short about saying, okay, what should I write about? Is that negative thoughts again and again? But so can you tell us a little bit more about those affirmations that you have the secret of, and your book is full of them actually?
Sure. Well, what with the affirmations, which I love, the affirmations help to keep words have power. And affirmations have a way of keeping you focused. And I like to say how you're training your brain. So it's like an athlete, you have to sometimes train your brain to, like, just like with your body. You want to lose weight to feel better and to fit into your clothes. Well, you have to train your brain, because your brain's a muscle. So you have to train it the way that you want to. So what I usually do is with the you observe what you observe and look at your thoughts. What exactly, when you have your negative feelings, observe your thoughts. What keeps coming up? Some, it might be the same, whatever it is, might be the same negative, whatever it is, it's thoughts that coming up. Maybe you had a fight with someone, or you're not getting along with your coworker, or different things like that. So observe your thoughts and see what keeps coming up. Then that way, what, say for instance, you don't get along with your coworker, which a lot of people do have that problem, because I went through that myself. If perhaps you're able to go to your supervisor and speak to them about, well, we're not exactly on the same page, it's affecting productivity, blah blah blah. So you have to observe your thoughts, and just and see what exactly is making negative is coming up. And then before you go to bed at night, because no one wants to go to bed. It's not healthy to go to bed with negative thoughts, worrying. My mother used to always say, do not go to bed with negative thoughts, because you can't sleep. It interrupts your digestive system. It's not good for you. So she's at night, she would say, I would say, as far as writing an affirmation, think of three good things that happened to you that day, or just think of three good things. To try to go to bed with of three good things that happened. Maybe someone smiled at you, maybe someone gave you a couple. Just try to think of three things, that good things, and go to bed with that, so you can have a better night's sleep. Because it's been said that you want to, when you go to sleep, you don't want to go to sleep with illnesses and anything around your heart, because our heart holds the wellspring of all our emotions. So you want to make sure that is clear before you go to bed. And the third thing, what I write, is you share your gratitude. Now, we all have, despite what's going on in the present moment with the pandemic, we all have something, many things, or one or two, three things, many things to be grateful for. So you can also write down and affirm, well, today I'm grateful for I had a good day. Today, I'm grateful for that I woke
Right.
up this morning. I'm grateful for I was able to get to work on time. I'm grateful that I was able to hold my temper when I could have lost my patience. So these are things that you share the gratitude. And when you take the focus off your problems and yourself, you will see in a little bit how much better that you feel. Because it's
Okay.
not about us it's not about us anyway.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for those tips. Positive thoughts, affirmation, journaling. And now let's move. This is for the mind. And now let's move to another important part of that can really embody stress and capture stress and anxiety, which is the body. And I'm going to give this to Karen. How can we release tension, this tension, and also the two aspects in this question, the tension and the healthy, maintain a healthy balance inside out, talking about nutrition, talking about exercises, breathing, whatever. What are the tips that you can provide, give us actually to keep this body sort of like balanced?
Well, thank you, Sylvie. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be here and share this platform of how some tips and tools to de-stress. And during these very unprecedented times, we have a lot of stress that we're dealing with. And with psychological stress in our minds, compounded with the wrong food choices, create havoc to our bodies. So it's mainly all about knowing what food choices that are best for us. There are many offenders, and in our standard American diet has a lot of opportunity for us to go for those offenders, which I call the triple S. Salt, excess of salt, sugar, starchy foods, fats. They all create not just bodily harm to us in the long run, but it affects how we think. It affects our moods. It affects our personality or disposition. It makes us depressed, have a feeling of heaviness. And we know that food has energy. And with that energy, what we ingest and what we consume, and maybe too much of, wreaks havoc. Salt is a mineral, but salt has its benefits. It has electrolytes, it helps balance the fluids in our bodies. However, with excess, it spikes our blood pressure. Blood pressure affects our moods, it affects how we can think clearly enough. Sugary and starchy foods is prevalent of them. The white flour, white rice, donuts. We have those foods that create such a spike in our bloodstreams, creating metabolic syndrome with high cholesterol, cardiovascular diseases, and diabetes. So these forms of foods that we consume each day in excess will affect, compounded to stress, compounded to perhaps even a sedentary lifestyle, it affects our moods and affects us to either think clearly enough to deal with the stressors that we have to deal with, that we just don't want to when you're not feeling good. It all starts from the inside out. So, what do? You want to make sure that you create a mindfulness. That's what it is. You have to redirect your thinking, number one, from negative thoughts, and you have to redirect your choices. And you have to have what we call mindfulness. Mindfulness that even if you're working in an environment where they have access to potato chips and salty nuts, and over access of these things we know is not helpful. So preparation and preparing, knowing that we need certain foods to bring with us each day that's going to nourish our bodies, going to give us the energy that we need, sets the tone for us to feel more energized and help us to feel more grounded and centered. And what are they? They're food that are color the rainbow, which we need to incorporate more of. We know what we need to do. We know that we need to drink more fluids to hydrate. We need to remove the toxins from our body. We know that we need to eat more green leafy vegetables and lean meats. We know we need to move and to exercise, and we know we need to do these things, but it takes mindfulness in order to redirect our energy into what we need to do for our bodies and giving our brain the ability to handle the stressors of life because we have that energizing food that's feeding us. So having the ability to prepare, bring those healthy snacks like an apple with nut butter, bring those wonderful berries that's good for the brain health. Walnuts is good for brain power. So bringing and preparing certain food choices that would help to alleviate some of the imbalances that are in our bodies.
So mindfulness, you said, okay, but how do you, and we have a question actually from, it's Linda. She says that she cannot help eating sugar because she feels that only sugar makes her feel that she's going over those cravings. So how do you get mindful? How do you manage the mindfulness? How do you manage those cravings when it's like a long day and you're stuck at home and stressed? What are your tips for that?
Yeah, the sugar, as we know, is stripped from minerals that from its original state, the minerals and nutrients that is left as refined sugar. When we have that ingesting sugar in our bodies, it's creating more of a gnawing hunger to want more sugar. So we need to have a mindfulness and say, well, why am I grabbing for this? I'm stressed out and I'm grabbing for the sugar. But we also need to balance it out with protein and the minerals that our body automatically looks for when it's have access to too much sugar. Like our teeth is the first to decay, the calcium is siphoned out because of the sugar that's in place of it. So if you want something sweet, get a fruity fruit berry. Make your own fruit salad. Throw some walnuts in there. Balance it out with the essential fatty acids and the protein that's in the walnuts. Adding maybe some kefir that if you need something creamy. But there are ways to have alternate sugar cravings because we have natural sugars in our fruits. But we also want to mix them as have what they call a slower load, sugar load in our bodies when you add protein in it. So you wouldn't have to crave more sugar. So when you add nuts into a fruit salad, something with oranges is full of antioxidants and berries was good brain power. Throw in some little yogurt with some mixed nuts to balance out the sugar load that's going in your body. So you feel that you have your sweet, but you're also slowing that sugar load in your body to balance out overload of sugar.
Nice.
So it's a
Well, thank
nice,
you.
it's just mindfulness of being balanced and not having the negative effects of the sugar or the overload of it.
Yeah, thank you for this. There's another few things that you talked about when we prepared for this, and we were talking about the power of essential oils.
Yes, the power of essential oils. Essential oils been around for thousands of years, and it's siphoned out cold press from roots and leaves and stems, and they have a powerful calming effect when needed. And they're easy to take on the go when you're out and about. I know that many people are have anxiety having to go back out into the workforce, and other people we still have COVID-19 hovering over us as a possible as a pandemic, and many people are have to take public transportation again. And so, the two oils that I can mention that has a automatic calming effect. One, of course, is lavender. Lavender has significant calming effects. In fact, studies have shown that lavender has the same anti-anxiety effect as Valium and as Prozac. So it's something that's essential to bring with you. It's a beautiful scent. You can rub it in your hand, inhale it on a tissue, or put it in your vent in your car if you're traveling, so that nice scent can come and aromatize your whole car. And it quickly goes into your sensational glands when you inhale. The other geranium is one that I particularly love as well, and has many potential benefits for people in reducing feelings of stress and anxiety. But not only that, it helps reduce any type of fatigue and sadness that you may have. There are many people who are going through certain depressions. It balances out those hormones in that way. And also, it improves your cognitive functions and tension. So, it's a wonderful, beautiful scent. It's something that, with therapeutic grade essential oils, you can have a drop under your tongue with a little bit of water, and you feel the wonderful effect immediately. And that's how potent and useful they are. So you can bring them with you on the go. That's how easy and simple it can be, and have your own reduction of stress moment.
Yeah. And to finish up with the release of tension in the body, can you just give us very quickly like a few breathing or yoga pauses that are easy to squeeze in, if, for instance, when we're in the office, which is not as easy as when we're home?
Yes, well, as we know that it doesn't take much to learn how to breathe properly. Breathing itself can give you a calming effect to your mind as well as your body. Learning how to breathe properly, allowing your muscles of your stomach to balloon out, to allow the body to, the shifting of that air to come into your central area of your lungs, in between your shoulders and your back, the heart center, allowing that oxygen to go into your brain to give you clarity and as well as de-stressing. It's called the inspiration when you inhale. And that dose of inspiration is oxygen that alkalizes your body. And studies show that cancer does not live in an alkalized environment. So it's important to get that fresh air, that dose of inspiration each day. And yoga, breath and yoga is intricate and complements each other. Breathing is an intricate part of yoga. Yoga is a part of movement. Our bodies are made to move. It has different poses that benefit every part of our bodies. It strengthens our bones. It creates flexibility. It helps with stress. Studies have shown it lowers blood pressure. So learning how to, at your desk, home office, wherever you are, is simple poses that you can just release the tension that you hold in your neck and your shoulders and your spine, and letting the breath to exhale and release every movement, and having that intricate flow of breath and body movement. Just a matter of few minutes of doing it will change your mood, change the way you feel, give you more of expansiveness to learn how to handle the rest of your day. Just giving a few moments for yourself of self care.
Very nice. Thank you. Now, ladies, and I think Debra is going to also join us in this conversation. Let's talk about the last aspect of, this potential source of tension and stress, which is the environment. Which can actually bombard us with, like, I don't know, the news, the noise at home. How can we manage, create a positive environment and shield ourselves from any negative influx that might come from this environment that we don't necessarily control?
Okay. Well, I had creating your own space, whether it's a prayer closet, whether it's a place that you can have some time to yourself, whether it's for 30 minutes, if you have 30 minutes, if you have 10 minutes. It could be in your room, it could be in your bathroom where you can have a nice tub bath and put the flameless candles around, have some music, aromatherapy smell, or you could have a quiet space in your room where you could have on the floor, you could have blankets, you could have a yoga mat if you wish, or nice soft pillows, music, because music is extremely calming. You could have oils, like Karen had spoke, but you could put oils in a diffuser and just make the atmosphere calm. And the main thing when you come home from work, change your clothes. Get out of your work clothes. When you put comfortable, relaxing clothes on, it changes your mood. So make sure you come home and change you and put comfortable clothes on. Now, they say that you should decompress with from work for at least an hour. But nowadays in this environment, people don't have an hour. So like I said, even if you have just 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and when you create this space, that's your sacred space, and you let everyone know that please this put it you can even create a do not disturb sign. Do not disturb me for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I have to decompress, I have to center, I have to focus on my breath. And when you do that, your blood pressure goes down, you're able to breathe better, and it will center you and calm you for your next task, whatever that is after, whether you have studying or something to do. But it's very, very important when you come home from work to decompress. Change, like I said, the main thing, get out of your work clothes and put something comfortable on, Go and get your and go to your sacred space. You can make anything you want in your sacred space, as long as it looks very comfortable, pleasing. You could have different colors of lavender or any soothing color that's there. And what's nice about it, when you are working, you have something to look forward to. Oh, I get to go to my sacred space for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and you can make a sign and just say, "Please don't disturb. I need my time to myself." Because that's something that our mother used to do. She would close her door. She would say, "Don't bother me for at least, mom, for I think 30 minutes," because she had to read her Bible. So she'd close her door. She wouldn't answer the phone because she needed that time to be by herself. So it's very important to create a space for you, to create a space, a sacred space for yourself in your home, whether it's your room. Like I said, you can also create a space in your bathroom, or any place where you can have just time to yourself and be undisturbed, and turn your cell phone off, turn that completely off. You can always turn on afterwards, but you need that time to decompress, get your thoughts together, and to refocus and get ready for your next task,
Yeah,
whatever that might be.
which can, and you can squeeze in like journaling that you were mentioning earlier in that me time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What you can squeeze that in, you can you anytime you want. Journal is there for you to go to at any time you want. It's a very inexpensive way to really release yourself. And if you're in your private, in your little prayer closet, or your whatever sacred space you want to call it, you can write down your feelings for that day. Whether you had a good day, bad day, I'm just glad to be in my space. I'm grateful to be home with my family. I'm grateful for certain things, because when we practice gratitude and we start thinking outside ourselves, we realize how blessed that we really are.
Yeah. Well, thank you for this positive, attitude thing. And Karen, you want to talk a little bit about social connections and other aspects of this environment thing?
Well, that's very important. Many people don't realize that having social connections is vital to our health as well. We are now, many people are coming back into perhaps some of the world that they used to know, but during the period of isolation, we had our family members and everyone home. And it's important to have a positive environment and a healthy environment with relationships. We are by nature social beings, and studies have shown that people who have positive friendships or in connections with friends and family or involved in organizations, basically have some type of positive support system. 50% of them live longer and have better immune systems than those who do not. In fact, studies have also shown that when you are engaged in positive connections, positive relationships, and if you're isolated, it's more detrimental than if you were overweight, that you then smoking 15 cigarettes a day and never exercising. That's how important to have relations, whether it's picking up and doing FaceTime, picking up the phone and just having 2 or 3-way conversation, just connecting and having a positive conversation, a positive topic of conversation, just connecting in with each other. And that's what sparked us in creating Phenomenal Women Empowerment Connections. It's a positive networking organization for women who are spiritually grounded, who not only share what they do, but the essence of who they are. We give quarterly luncheons that give an exchange of edifying one another, uplifting and empowering, and also it encourages positive collaborations. So it is encouraged that people look into connections. There's so many people are so easy to be isolated, and it's not a healthy thing to do that. So it's something that needs to be considered part of your circle of life, because that's holistically what keeps us balanced, is not just the food on our plate, but creating a balance in our life circle, whether it's your family, your career, your nutrition, your spirituality, your social atmosphere. It's just a holistic approach in creating empowerment that's best suits you to deal with the stressors of life. And it's all about shifting and changing behaviorally and learning how to feel more grounded and more empowered in the skin that you're in.
Very nice. So we talked about pretty much everything. I mean, we could spend another 2 hours, I guess, talking about all those tips and tricks that you came up with. A couple of questions, but before we move to the questions, I just want to tell everyone who's attending that Karen and Debra, through the group, are animating classes, tutorials, workshops, and whoever subscribes to the newsletter is getting 10%. So we're going to provide after this, at the end of this this session, we're going to provide all the information for you to subscribe and hopefully have a chance to spend more time working and listening to Karen and Debra. So let's move to, we have a couple of questions here. I have Susan, who says that she has 2 young kids at home. She has to work and she doesn't really have time for journaling, although she said, I would love to. What can she do?
Does she take the, I'm guessing that she takes the train? Is she,
What
I'm just guessing that, because I don't know if she's, maybe if she's taking public transportation, the train.
She says she's at home.
Oh, she's at home. Okay. And she doesn't have time. Well,
She
let
has
me
the
see.
kids around, you know, when it's
I
like,
understand. Yeah. You have no time with kids. One pulls you, one sleep, one's this one, one's that one. Well, only thing I can say, because sound like she really wants to journal. If she could just, can she get up? I'm sure she, as a mother, she's up early in the morning. If there's a way that she can maybe get up before they get up, I know that's a challenge because kids get up, they seem to hit the ground as soon as you get up. If she can possibly, maybe, I don't know what her schedule, if she can get up early before they can, and maybe she can maybe do something in the morning before they get up. It's just, I mean, I don't have children. I'm just trying to guess for her because I know many mothers. I know what it's like, what they tell me, how the kids, it never starts running. But if she can maybe get up before they do. I actually worked with someone many years ago. She would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I used to ask her why. I said, you don't have to be at work till 9. Well, she said, well, she had to get her daughter ready. But what she would do, she got up at 4. She said, because I need that time to spend to myself before she got up, before I got dressed with her, and to get her ready and get myself ready because she had to go to the babysitter. So if there's possibly a way that maybe she could get up before her kids do, maybe she writes for 5 minutes before they start getting up screaming and yelling.
So Suzanne, put your alarm clock early tomorrow and give it a try, and hopefully you don't get too exhausted during the day, but that might be the only way to do it.
Right.
Then we have this question, actually we more or less addressed it already, which is about eating compulsively during the day, feeling that I asked you this question already, so we're going to move to Cheryl. Cheryl says, I'm back at work and I would like to do a few exercise during the day to relax. What can I do that is okay in an office environment?
Chair yoga.
Well, we have, for everyone who's attending, we will be sending a link to do practice certain quick yoga movements that can release tension and body stifleness, even at your desk, even in your chair. You don't have to go anywhere. And then you have the ability to move a certain way, breathe a certain way that gives you your blood to move, even if it's just a few minutes. And it's healthy to get up and move, whether it's every half hour or hour, just simply stretching your legs and getting your body movement again. But you definitely can do something in the office, whether it's just rotating your shoulders, turning and twisting your spine to really, and you feel when you do that with the breath, it releases your tension. Going out for a walk for 10 minutes, just taking a break, going up down the stairs if you're at work. Anything that you can think of just to move the blood in our body so we won't feel stifled, stifling what we call that chi, that energy that we need to release. There are many ways that can be done.
Okay. Well, amazing. So I guess the rest of the questions you addressed already in the presentation. So we're going to actually conclude this session. Thank you everyone for being here, whoever we attended tonight. Thank you, Karen and Debra.
Thank
And
you.
we're gonna be, so this is being recorded, so it's gonna be available, and we're gonna share it with you too. A big thank you to everyone, and be safe, be well, and don't forget to breathe. Don't, if you wake up early enough, journal, whatever you have to do, and but more importantly, be safe and be well. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you in a week for another event that's going to be about actually talking about waking up at 4 a.m., about how to kickstart your day and make it a positive day, like a routine to start your day on the right foot. That's going to be with Brittany Levy, who's also a certified coach, nutrition, fitness coach. She's also, like you, a very talented and very inspiring person, and she's going to tell us about how to start our days on the right foot and make it a good day. So let me wish you a very nice evening, and we'll see everybody soon.
We want to thank you again to you and Sylvie and Sonia for allowing us to share our platform, and we look forward to communicating with everyone.
Okay,
Thank
of course.
Again soon.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
You too. Stay safe, everyone. Stay safe. Stay positive.
Yes, thank you.